Good evening. This is Arthur Scott. I'm a STEM educator at Christian Brothers High School, and today we're going to talk and present to you guys a new initiative of curriculum here at CBHS, where we're proposing that we change our physical science course to a hybrid between physical science and the physics first curriculum. So, why do we want to do this? Well, traditionally, okay, we've known the traditional biology, chemistry, physics sequence is a tad bit outdated, according to the American Association of Physics Teachers, from a study made in 2009. And they did a really good study and created a curriculum called Physics First, which is it's really good, but there's some negatives to it. Another thing, we've noticed that at least 25% of ninth graders have difficulties, according to the entrance exam, with algebra, and this definitely impacts their science readiness. And we want all of our kids, all of our students, to be well prepared for science. Another point, 20% of advanced science students feel that they didn't have a good foundational preparation for higher level science courses. And of course, we need to address this. So there is definitely a need for a curriculum that balances the ability of all students to learn and a rigorous STEM program so that they can be successful there. So, why do we choose or what are we suggesting a hybrid curriculum? So, physical science, there's some pluses. It's very inclusive, it's next generation science standards aligned, but there's a risk that there is a superficial level of learning where they just get a taste of everything without a deep dive into the curriculum. And this is from a study from Kashi in 2024. Now, Physics First, it's been around for a while, and it's been adapted and suggested by the American Association of Physics Teachers. And Easter Day did a study on this and suggested it as a viable curriculum, and it is for some populations. It'll build a foundational physics principles, but it does require strong algebra skills, which many of our students don't have. And again, we're coming from like 52 different feeder schools, and not all of them have the same level of learning. This is why we feel that a hybrid model is more inclusive and will assist us in getting every one of these students close to the same level in math and prepare them to be STEM ready for future courses, which is all a part of the biblical principle of inclusivity from Galatians 3:28. There's neither Jew nor Greek, there's neither slave nor free, there is neither male nor female, for we are all one in Christ Jesus. So the significance of this hybrid plan, we want to prepare all of our students for AP Science courses, chemistry, biology, physics, environmental science, if they so choose, and prepare the students that want to pursue a STEM career the appropriate pathway and trail so that they can be successful in their endeavors. And again, as I mentioned, we have a strong population of diverse learners that may not have the appropriate preparation that all of our other students do. And we feel that this hybrid plan will increase their knowledge and assist them in algebra and get them to the skills that they will need in future courses. And of course, this aligns with our Lasallian mission to be stewards of our intellectual gifts. In Colossians 3:23, whatever you do, do it heartily, as to the Lord and not to men. So, our current strategies, right now we do use POGL and we'll use FET simulations, but we know that they will increase engagement by at least 15% according to Gao and Lo Mang. However, how are we using them? We don't have a cohesive curriculum that our teachers are prepared to use these wonderful tools. So we're using more or less in a haphazard manner. And again, not all of our students have the same math preparation and the same math skills, and we want to try to increase their level of learning with traditional physical science. We believe that the solution is a curriculum, a hybrid curriculum, where we have structured inquiry and math scaffolding using these wonderful tools of POGL and FET simulations to increase this learning. So looking at our action plan overview, we're going to go into more detail in all of these. Our goal is to implement this hybrid curriculum by the end of 2025-2026 school year. Our strategy is using inquiry-based POGL and FET simulation and math scaffolding to improve these students' skills so everybody is on closer to the same level. Our steps is a needs assessment, the final curricula design, professional development for all of our first year physics teachers, and we're suggesting to pilot the program in a couple of classes and then full implementation once we have analyzed all the data. We're anticipating a max cost of approximately $6,000 from the school's budget, from both the communications and marketing department and the professional development budget and normal school science materials. So, how are we going to implement this? These are our key action steps. Our first one is to conduct a needs assessment to identify student and teacher needs. This will be from our current first year physics teachers, the science department chair, and our curriculum specialist, Dr. Whitmer, and we'll get a handle of what we think we need and get a buy-in from all those stakeholders so we can anticipate what we do need. Finally, we'll develop a curriculum, our final curriculum, where we integrate these physics modules, more of a physics first curriculum in a traditional physical science sequence and curriculum, and get that final modules, our final curriculum, what we think our students need. Next, we're going to provide for professional development on both POGL and FET simulations, math scaffolding, so all of our first year teachers are on the same sheet and the same plan of how we're going to implement this to increase our students' knowledge of math and science. Then the plan is to choose two classes, current classes, first year physics students, physical science students, pilot the curriculum for several months, have a pre-assessment and then a post-assessment, evaluate their outcomes, and then after analyzing the data, implement the curriculum fully. So our timeline is, pretty ambitious. The last couple of weeks of July, the key stakeholders, the first year physics teachers, the science department chair, will get together and conduct a needs assessment of what materials are needed and what training is needed to properly be prepared for this curriculum. In August, We'll come together and prepare our final hybrid curriculum proposal and lesson plans and develop our resources. We think we know what we need, but hopefully after this curriculum needs assessment, we will know what we need. So September and October will be our professional development months. We're looking on actually bringing in an outside POGIL expert to conduct professional development for all first year physics teachers so that we can again, be on the same page. We can understand what's going on and knowing how to use these wonderful tools of POGIL and FED appropriately. October and November, we will pick two classes with two different teachers, two different first year physics teachers to implement the program, pilot the program. We are planning to have a pre-needs assessment or a pre-assessment, and then of course a post-assessment so we can have data to analyze to see how this hybrid program actually does work. Then and from after we get the data and we analyze it, we are planning on second semester to fully implement this hybrid plan across all classes of first year physics students and see how we do. At the end of school, we'll conduct a year-end evaluation, analyzing the data and present it to our key stakeholders. So, resources and responsibilities. Let's look down to the dollars. Let's look to the materials. Key personnel would, of course, be Mr. Vaughn, the science department chair, our curriculum specialist, Dr. Whitmer, all of the first year physics, physical science teachers, and of course, Dr. Brummer, our principal. We do want to include you in these decisions and these discussions. We feel as far as materials that, of course, we need a curriculum map, unit plans, POGIL guides, and a FET integration handbook. So again, we can appropriately implement these tools into this program. We're looking at our costs of approximately $2,000 for materials. This would come out of our normal science budget, and Mr. Vaughn has looked at that and has agreed. We're looking at $3,500 for professional development, which would come out of our school's professional development fund, and most of this cost will be for an outside POGIL expert and a FET expert if we can get one to come in, educating and training our teachers so we're, again, on the same plan. We're budgeting $500 for parent workshops so those stakeholders can know what their kids are doing and get a buy-in to what we need. So this would come from our communications and marketing budget. We have talked to the director of our marketing director, and she is also on board. So our expected outcomes from implementing this hybrid curricula is improved student engagement and conceptual understanding by at least, according to data in the study by Gal, 15 to 20%. And that should definitely be a buy-in from everybody. We're expecting by developing a love of science, increased AP science enrollment, and of course pass rates by getting this inquiry-based teaching method onto our students. And of course, we're looking for enhanced equity for underprepared students that may not have the math background that some of our students may be receiving from our feeder schools. We can have more of our students on the same level. And for our recruiting department, this should increase our reputation in the competitive private school market of CBHS because we are offering such a rigorous STEM education for all students. So what are we looking for? Well, we're looking for you guys to approve the action plan so we can begin our action steps. starting in mid-July 2025. Of course, we want you guys to support the professional development plan and our parent engagement meetings. We think it's very important to have all stakeholders bought into this plan. And again, hopefully all of us will monitor these outcomes of this pilot program, ensuring that our students are showing success, they are showing that increased engagement, and they're learning. Because we all want to prepare our students to glorify God through scientific inquiry. The psalmist writes in Psalms 19, "The heavens declare the glory of God, and the firmament shows his handiwork." We want to do right by our kids, and we think this is the way to do it. The references for these studies and this are here, and I'll give everybody a copy of this. So, what are your questions? Seeing none, thank you so much for your time.